So welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so glad you could make it. For those of you that don't know me personally, my name is Jamie and I teach Hatha yoga and meditation. Now, Hatha is the basis of all types of yoga, but it is a little bit slower paced and we tend to hold the poses a little bit longer, and there's a bit more instruction than different styles like Vinyasa, for example, which you might have heard of, which is a bit more flowy and fast paced. Today, we're going to do a 75-minute class. Like I said, you'll need your mat, a couple of cushions, maybe blocks if you have them or need them, otherwise don't worry. And if at any point you need to take a break, just come to lie flat on your back in corpse pose or take a resting child's pose, which looks like this. And then just join back in whenever you're ready. Now, in yoga, you should never ever feel any pain or discomfort. So if any of the poses feel uncomfortable, they feel a little bit funky or maybe even painful, then ease off. Don't force anything. Come to speak to me at the end of class and I can give you a variation for next time. Remember, this is your practice, not my practice. So just listen to your body, do whatever feels right. And as I said earlier, feel free to pop on some background music if you feel like it. You're all on mute, so we can't hear you anyway. We're going to start with a short meditation. So you can either lie down or come to a comfortable seated position. If you're seated, then I invite you to sit up on a cushion or a block, just something to give you a little bit of height. This helps you lower your knees towards the ground. And if you've got one knee or both knees that are lifted like this, then just prop something underneath them to support them. This will allow you to relax your inner thigh muscles and it feels a bit better on the lower back. Then rock forwards and pull out the flesh from underneath your sit bones to rotate your hips forward so that you can sit up nice and tall. There is a tendency to lean forward, so just draw your weight backwards. What you're trying to do is stack one vertebra on top of the other. Hands resting on your knees or in your lap. Chin comes to neutral and slightly up just to lengthen the spine and the neck. Take a couple of deep breaths. And when you're ready, just close down your eyes. Relax your shoulders, soften your face, and release your jaw. Give yourself a moment to arrive on your mat and to let go of your day so far, any thoughts, worries, cares. Become fully present. Now bring your attention to the space around you. Noticing any sounds, any smells. See if you can feel the breeze on your skin. Good. Now turn your gaze inwards to your breath. Breathing in and out through your nose. And just allowing your breath to flow naturally, not forcing or changing anything. Slowly begin to lengthen your breath for a count of 3 or 4. With every inhale, see if you can grow taller with the breath, the crown of your head reaching for the sky. And as you exhale, your tailbone roots down. Nice long spine and neck. Now keeping your eyes closed, release the breath and become entirely still. Take a moment to reflect on the past year. What was your biggest achievement? And what do you want to let go of? Now, instead of thinking about what you want to achieve in 2022, think about how you want to feel. In yoga, we like to set an intention at the beginning of our practice. This is called a sankalpa. So I invite you to take a moment to think of a one-word intention based on the emotion that you would like to feel next year. This could be maybe joyful, fearless, strong, whatever word resonates with you. And keeping your eyes closed, place both hands on your heart. Feel the warmth beneath your palms and connect to your one-word intention. Really feel it. Breathe it. Keep this one-word intention at the forefront of your mind throughout the next 60 minutes or so. And whenever you're ready, start to flutter your eyes open. Good. Interlace your hands, turn your palms to face forwards and extend your arms, so straighten your arms, rounding your upper back and gazing towards the floor. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. Reach, lengthen. And as you exhale, release your arms down by your side or rest them on your knees. We're going to start with a few neck circles. So look towards the floor, and as you inhale, roll your neck, your head over towards the right. Exhale back to center. And then inhale over to the other side. Just gently moving from right to left, integrating the breath with the movement. Moving slowly and mindfully. And as you move, just see if you can find maybe a tight spot or not. And when you do, just move from right to left, massaging the tight spot, seeing if you can loosen it up a little bit. For me, it's always the left side of my neck that gets really tight. Okay, bring your head back to a neutral position and just turn to the left and then to the right, right to left, left to right. Back to center. Drop your right ear to your right shoulder, and with your right hand, place it on top of your head. Apply some gentle pressure. Your left hand, your left fingertips come to the ground and just crawl them out towards the left. Breathing into the left side of your neck here. Don't force anything. See if you can invite in a sense of relaxation and ease. Gently opening up the muscles on the left side of your neck. And with your right hand, gently prop your head back up. We're going to go to the other side. So left ear drops to your left shoulder. Left hand comes on top of your head. Apply some gentle pressure. And then your right fingertips start to walk out towards the right. This time, send your breath to the right side of your neck and shoulder. Seeing if you can create a little bit of space with the breath. Good, and prop your head back up. Release your arm to the floor. Palms face forwards. Now as you exhale, press your hands towards the earth. You don't want floppy arms here, so activate your arms. Reach them out wide with intention. Imagine someone's grabbing each hand and pulling in opposite directions, so you feel your chest and your back expand. On an inhale, sweep your arms up. Reach, 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 reach. Elongate your spine, and then interlace your hands behind your head so that your index fingers are at the base of your skull. And then press your head against your hands. You want to feel a little bit of resistance here. And then gently, this is a micro movement, gently lift your hands up. You should feel your spine get a little bit longer, spine and neck nice and long. So this is a posture that we're aiming for in any seated or standing position, always creating a space between the vertebrae. Lovely, and release. Come to a kneeling position. Remove any block or cushion you might have. We're going to come to an active child's pose. So sit on your heels and then gently walk your fingers forwards. You're going to stay up high on your fingertips and your head is going to remain elevated in alignment with your spine. So you're not looking up or looking down. Head in alignment with your spine. Crawl your fingers forwards as you lengthen through the spine. As you exhale, draw your hips backwards. Now your hips may or may not touch your heels. If they don't touch, perhaps you place a cushion just underneath your bum. Maybe that feels good. Experiment, try things out, see what feels good in your body, and then connect with the breath. Nice deep inhalations and long exhalations, sending the breath to the lower back, seeing if you can open up your lumbar spine. Now on your next in-breath, slowly walk your fingers over towards the left to maybe 10 or 11 o'clock. You don't need to go too far. Keep crawling your fingers forwards and drawing your hips backwards. We're coming into a side stretch here. Now your left fingertips, walk them slightly further forwards. You're trying to lengthen through your left side as well as your right. Integrate the breath, sending it towards your right side body. Seeing if you can feel your rib cage expand and the muscles start to open and relax. One more breath. Exhaling to return through center. And inhaling over to the other side. So you're going to 1 or 2 o'clock.
Keep walking the fingers forwards, drawing the hips backwards. This time it's your right hand that walks a tiny bit further forwards so that you're lengthening both sides of the waistline. Take 3 deep breaths here. This time expanding the left side of your rib cage. Good. Walk your hands back through center. Drop your head to the mat and bring your hands by your side, palms face up. If you prefer, you can place a cushion underneath your forehead if that's more comfortable. This is a resting child's pose. Know that you can come here at any point throughout the practice whenever you feel the need to. Feel the point where your forehead touches the floor or the cushion. Shoulders relaxed. Breathe into the space in between your shoulder blades. Now reach your arms in front of you like they were before. Come up high onto your fingertips and keeping your head relaxed, start to walk your fingers towards your body, just slowly propping yourself up to a kneeling position. Remove any cushions or blocks and then walk your hands forwards. You want your hands shoulder width apart and your feet hip width distance apart. Spread your fingers out nice and wide. You want to ensure you've got even weight balance across both hands. Curl your toes under. Press your feet into the floor as you lift your knees, hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Now what happens here is that a lot of people tend to round the upper back like this to straighten the legs, but it's way more important to have a straight back than to have straight legs. So bend your knees, press your hands into the earth, hips up and back, and then perhaps you start to straighten the legs a little bit more. Keep pressing your hands into the earth, opening up your shoulders and lengthening through the spine, and then gently pushing your shoulders towards your heels. We're going to hold it here for 5 deep breaths, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose or the mouth, you choose. Inhaling for 1. Inhaling for 2. Keep pressing the earth away from you. Inhale for 3. Drawing the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale 4. Last one, inhale 5. Bend the knees, look forwards, and slowly taking baby steps, start to walk your feet forwards. If this is really difficult, perhaps you come up onto your fingertips, or maybe you use blocks underneath your hands to give you a bit more space. Feet hip width distance apart. Soften the knees, relax your head. And don't worry if your hands don't touch the floor. I've just got really long monkey arms. Maybe you're like this, or perhaps you grab onto opposite elbows and you just allow yourself to hang. Now, if you've got any problems with your back, then perhaps you bend your knees a little bit more. Just play around with this, see what feels good. And let your head hang heavy. Maybe you even shake it from side to side, forwards and backwards. Just becoming aware of gravity in your body and allowing the gravity to help you go deeper. Feel your lower back, mid back and upper back lengthen. Good. Now release your hands. And as you exhale, bend your knees, just shift your weight back into your heels and roll up nice and slow. When your hands reach your knees, turn your palms to face forwards. Press your feet into the earth and send your arms out wide. Hold it here for a breath, pushing your hands out in opposite directions to feel that chest and the back expand. Inhale, raising your arms up. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Your right hand grabs onto your left wrist. Reach up and bend over towards the right. Now don't bend too far. Keep your knees soft. Shoulders and face relaxed. Lovely. Return through center. Inhale, lengthen. Your opposite hand grabs onto your wrist. Reach up and bend over to the other side. Don't forget to breathe. And gently come back up through center. Release your arms down by your side. And then we're going to bring the arms out wide like this. Just take some small circles with the hands, just warming up the shoulders. And then switching directions. Good. Now turn your fingers up towards the ceiling. It's almost like you're pressing the walls away from you. You should feel a nice stretch down your palms and the bottom of your forearms. And then turn your fingers downwards and press the backs of your hands away from you. Good. Moving fingers up, down, up, down. We're just warming up the wrists. Now make a fist with your hands and then spread your fingers wide. So fist and release, squeeze, release. Let's do this another 5 times or so. You might start to feel your arms get a little bit tired. It won't be much longer. Okay, take a few wrist circles in one direction and then in the other. Perfect, and then release. Okay, feet hip-width distance apart. Focus your gaze on a point in front of you at eye level. This is what we call our drishti, and it helps us balance. Shift your weight onto your right foot, and then lift up your left knee, interlacing your hands over your left knee and drawing your knee towards your body and slightly towards the left, towards your left armpit. Your standing knee is unlocked, so not bent, but not hyperextended. Tuck your tailbone and stand up nice and tall. Maybe if you feel that you're losing your balance, don't worry. Just hop back in again, or maybe lean against a wall. And then bring your left hand onto your left ankle. Lower your left knee down. Right palm faces forwards. Tuck your tailbone. You should feel a nice stretch all the way down the front of your left thigh. To go deeper, draw your left ankle towards your bum cheek and push your knee towards the ground, just gently. Good, and release. Shake it out. Let's go to the other side. So fix your gaze, your drishti, shift your weight onto your left foot and then lift up your right knee, interlacing your hands over your right knee and drawing it towards your chest and then slightly towards the right. Hold it here. Good, just testing your balance. And then right hand comes onto right ankle, lower your right knee down. Left palm faces forwards. And your knees are not together here, they're hip-width distance apart. Tuck your tailbone so you're not going into a back bend. And if you did so on the other side, perhaps you draw your ankle a little closer towards your butt cheek as you press your knee downwards, just to intensify the stretch if you want to. Now be kind and compassionate to yourself. If you do fall out, that's no big deal. Okay, and release. Come to the top of your mat. Again, feet hip-width distance apart. You always want to stack your hips over your ankles, palms facing forwards. Exhale, press your hands towards the ground.
Inhale, reach them out wide. Exhale. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Exhale. Inhale, grow a little taller with the breath. And as you exhale, reach your arms forwards. Hinge from the hips, soften through the knees. Lower your hands towards the ground. Again, don't worry if your hands don't quite touch the ground. This is a forward bend or Uttanasana in Sanskrit. Taking a couple of breaths here, just scanning the body for any areas of tension, seeing if you can send the breath to these areas. Shift your weight onto your left foot and slowly, with control, step your right foot to the back of the mat. We're making our way to low lunge. Lower down your right knee and come onto your fingertips. Now you might want to shift your left foot over towards the left. You want to make sure that your feet are hip width distance apart. This will make you feel more stable. And shimmy your right knee backwards to lengthen the stance and then untuck your toes. You want to make sure that your front knee isn't overshooting the ankle, but is either stacked on top or slightly behind. Now, if you have blocks here, then feel free to use them. If not, your fingertips are on the ground. Level up your hips. You should be feeling a stretch all the way down the middle of your back thigh. If you feel it on the inside or on the outside of your thigh, then that means that you're twisting your spine. So make sure that your hips are facing forwards. Push your hips down and then diagonally forwards and up. And we're going to do what I call the diving motion here. So just watch me for a moment. I'm going to tuck your chin downwards, bend your elbows backwards, and as you inhale, draw your hands towards your body. So you're like pulling on the mat. And then you do this motion of ducking under a wave. What this does is it helps create space between your vertebrae so that you can feel more of a stretch on the front side of your body. We'll do that again. So tucking the chin, bending the elbows backwards. Inhale, reaching your chin diagonally forwards and up. Let's hold here for 5 breaths. Maybe you even close your eyes to take your gaze inwards, just really feeling into your body. Where do you notice the stretch? Do you feel any pain or discomfort anywhere? If you do, ease off. And can you breathe with ease? When you've taken your 5 breaths, start to walk your hands towards your body as you straighten your left leg, flexing your left foot. Now this left hip has a tendency to come forward, so just draw it back. And maybe you stay here, left knee unlocked. If you want to go deeper, we can take the diving motion again. So tucking the chin, bending the elbows, and then drawing the hands towards the body as your chin reaches diagonally forwards and up. You should start to feel a nice strong stretch all the way down the back of your left leg. And if you want to go even deeper, you can tuck your right foot and straighten your right leg to come into pyramid pose. But go as far as it feels comfortable for you today. Let's hold for a couple more breaths. And then gently walk your hands forwards, bending through your left knee. Removing any blocks if you have them. Walk your left foot to center as you plant your hands shoulder width apart. Tuck your right foot and step your left foot back, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Go through your alignment once again. Press your hands into the earth as you open up your neck and your spine. Knees soft. Push your shoulders towards your ankles, and perhaps you notice your heels lowering a little bit further towards the ground. Maybe you walk it out here, pedaling the feet. And then find stillness. Inhale, come up onto the balls of your feet and roll forward.
You might need to walk your hands further forward so that you can stack your shoulders over your wrists or slightly behind. We're going to hold high plank here. If this is too much for you, bring your knees to the ground. You still get all of the same benefits. But if you are in high plank, draw your belly towards your spine and make sure that your hips aren't sagging. This is going to create a crunch in your low back, and if they're too high, you're not activating your core. So a nice strong line, straight line from the heels to the crown of your head. Press your hands away from you as you round your upper back, pressing into that space in between your shoulder blades. Good job. One more breath. Lower your knees to the mat. And then shift your weight forwards, bending your elbows backwards. Slowly start to lower down. Chin, chest, and onto your belly. Come onto your forearms. Make an L shape with your hands and grab onto opposite elbows. And your elbows are just slightly in front of your shoulders here so that you've got room for the diving motion. Relax your bum and your legs. Look towards the ground, and as you inhale, actively pull your elbows towards your body as your chin reaches diagonally forwards and up. Nice strong shoulders here. Hold it here. If you feel any twitching sensation in your low back, perhaps you relax the shoulders a bit. You relaxed your bum and your legs. Close your eyes. Feel into your body. Good. Now lower onto your belly. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Curl your toes under. And there's two ways to come up here. So you can either press your hands into the ground, sit your bum towards your heels, and then come up to a down dog. Or you can press your hands down and forwards and come up in one smooth movement to a downward dog. So perhaps you try both of those, see which one works for you. Let's meet in down dog. And then look forwards, bend your knees, and slowly walk your feet towards the front of the mat. Feet hip width distance apart. Relax your head, soften your knees. And then find some gentle movement here. Perhaps you grab onto opposite elbows, you bounce up and down, sway from side to side. Whatever feels good. Good. Now release the arms. Bring your left hand either flat on your mat in front of your left foot, on your fingertips, or perhaps you have a block. Like this. Inhale, sweep your right arm up towards the sky. Press your left hand into the earth and hold it here. Your knees are soft. Exhale, lower your right arm back down again. Grab onto opposite elbows and bounce up and down. We want to lengthen the spine before we twist on the other side. Okay. Right hand comes either onto the floor now, or on your fingertips, or on your block on the other side. Inhale, sweep your left arm up towards the ceiling. Press your right hand into the earth and hold. Breathe. And lower your left arm back down again. Grab onto opposite elbows, bounce up and down. Lengthen your spine. Okay, remove any blocks you might have. We're going to roll up. So bend the knees, shift the weight back into your heels. Roll up nice and slow. When your hands reach your knees, turn your palms to face forwards. Press the soles of your feet into the earth. Send your arms out wide. Exhale. Inhale, arms reach up. Reach, 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 reach. Hands come to touch. And then draw them down to your heart center. Mountain pose. Close your eyes for a moment here. Let your thumbs rest on your sternum. Check in. Perhaps your heart is starting to race here. Maybe you've started to generate a little bit of heat.
And gently open your eyes, release your hands by either side of your body. Let's go to the other side now, so palms face forwards. Exhale, press your hands towards the ground. Inhale, reach them out wide. Exhale. Inhale, arms reach up. Reach, 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 reach. Exhale. On your next in-breath, grow taller with your breath. Exhale, hinge from the hips. Reach your arms and your hands forwards. Soften through your knees. Forward bend, Uttanasana. Shift your weight onto your right foot this time and slowly with control step your left foot to the back of the mat. Lower down your left knee. Come onto your fingertips or use your blocks, whatever you did on the other side. Shift your left knee backwards to lengthen your stance and then untuck your foot. Perhaps you shimmy your right foot over towards the right. And if you've got big boobs and they're pushing against your knee, perhaps you move your boob out the way. Good. Press your hips down and then diagonally forwards and up. Hips level. And then we're going to take the diving motion. So tuck your chin, bend your elbows backwards. And as you inhale, actively pull your hands on the mat as you reach your chin diagonally forwards and up. Holding here for 5 breaths. Inhaling for 1. For 2. For 3. For 4. And for 5. Exhale, walk your hands towards your body as you straighten your right leg, flex your right foot. Don't worry if your leg's not completely straight, you can keep a slight bend here. Draw your right hip backwards and then either stay here or take the diving motion. Tucking your chin, bending your elbows, reaching your chin diagonally forwards and up as if you're ducking under a wave. Option to curl your left foot under and straighten your left leg if you wanted to come into pyramid pose. You choose. And then hold here. A couple more breaths. Remember, you can always close your eyes. This really helps to get rid of any distractions, to keep your focus. Walk your hands forwards, bending through your right knee. Right foot comes to center. Plant your hands, tuck your left foot, and step your right foot back, downward facing dog. Maybe you walk it out here. Okay, inhale, come up onto your tippy toes, roll forwards. The movement starts in your low back, mid back, upper back. Maybe you walk your hands forwards to be able to stack your shoulders over your wrists or slightly behind. High plank or low plank, you choose. Drawing your belly toward your spine. Creating that nice straight line from your heels to the crown of your head. Your gaze is on the floor, maybe about 1 meter in front of your hands. Hold it here. And then lower your knees to the ground. Shift your weight forwards, bend your elbows backwards, keeping them close towards your body. Perhaps you hover with your upper arms parallel to the mat, or you come all the way down onto your belly. Come onto your forearms and grab onto opposite elbows. Baby cobra. Look towards the floor, and as you inhale, draw your elbows towards your body. Your chin reaches diagonally forwards and up. So you're not collapsing your shoulders here, but you're pressing your elbows into the ground. This is a nice, mild back bend. I don't like to do up dogs. They're too intense. Connect to your breath one more time. And lower down onto your belly, bringing your hands underneath your shoulders. Curl your toes under. And either push back to a child's pose or come straight up to downward facing dog. 3 breaths.
Look forwards, bend your knees, and slowly walk your feet to the top of the mat. Relax your head, soften your knees, forward bend. Let's do a twist again. So your left hand comes in front of your left foot, on your fingertips, or maybe on a block. Inhale, sweep your right arm up towards the ceiling. Now bend your left knee, so you'll feel the stretch change from your upper back to your right hamstring and hip. Hold it here. Keep pressing your left fingertips into the ground. And then exhale, lower your right arm down. Straighten your legs and grab onto opposite elbows. Hang here for a moment, just allowing your spine to lengthen before we twist on the other side. Right hand comes onto the floor in front of your right foot, or use a block if you did so on the other side. Inhale, sweep your left arm up towards the sky. And then this time, bend your right knee. So you should feel this stretch again, change from your back to your left hip and hamstring. Lower your left hand down, straighten up your knees, grab onto opposite elbows, hang here. Good, release your arms, bend your knees, shifting your weight back into your heels as you roll up nice and slow. Press your feet into the earth, send your arms out wide, exhale. Inhale, raise your arms up. Feel your whole front, back and side body lengthen. Exhale, hands come to touch. Draw them down to your heart center. Closing your eyes and taking a couple of breaths in mountain pose. Perhaps taking a moment to reflect on your one-word intention. Good, open your eyes and release. Bring your feet a little bit wider than hip width distance apart, and your toes are going to point outwards like this. Palms face forwards. Exhale, press your hands towards the ground. Inhale, reach your arms out wide. Exhale. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Hands come to touch. Draw them down towards your heart center. As you start to bend into your knees, drawing your bum towards the ground. We're coming to a Yogi Squat here. Now, if your heels don't touch the ground, that's fine. Just stay on the ball of your feet. You can even use a block to sit on if you prefer. The most important thing here is that you don't push your heels down and compensate by rounding your back. You want to keep a nice straight back. And then draw your hands downwards to whatever is comfortable. Head nice and long. Close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths. How can you ensure that you stay aligned with your one-word attention, not just today, but throughout the whole of 2020? Release your hands to the floor and come to a tabletop position. Spread your fingers out wide, shoulders over wrists or slightly behind if that's more comfortable. Hips over knees. I'm going to take a few rounds of cat-cow. Now I teach this a little bit differently, so listen carefully to my instructions. Look towards the ground. And as you inhale, lift your bum up, your low back comes down, mid back, upper back. Soften through your shoulders, bend your elbows slightly backwards, and as you inhale, actively pull your hands along the mat and take the diving motion again. Your chin reaches diagonally forwards and up, stretching out the whole of your front body. Complete the movement with your drishti, also looking diagonally forwards and up.
This is cow pose. Now we're going to move into cat pose. So mindfully start to lift your lower back up, middle back, upper back, and then look towards the floor. Press your hands into the earth. We're going to repeat this motion, so lifting your bum up, lower back comes down, mid back, upper back, relax your shoulders, bend your elbows backwards. Inhale, draw your hands towards your body, chin reaches diagonally forwards and up. And then as you exhale, start to round through your lower back, mid back, upper back, as you look towards the floor, pressing your hands into the earth. Close your eyes and keep moving at your own pace, connecting the movement and the breath. Just feel this wave-like motion in your body. And remember, the movement always starts in your spine, in your lower back, in your pelvis, and then ripples through the rest of your spine. One last one. Good. Let's meet in cat pose with our back arched. Walk your hands forwards. Tuck your toes. Let's meet in downward facing dog. Lift your knees, hips up and back. Good. Now we're going to make our way to pigeon pose here, which is our peak pose. So come up high onto your tippy toes and bring your right knee immediately to the inside of your right wrist. Your right shin and foot come out towards the left, less than a 90-degree angle. Lower your left knee to the ground and then shimmy your left knee backwards to lengthen the stance. You want to make sure that your hips stay level. So let me just show you from this side. So you don't want to collapse over to the right side. You can place, let me just show you, a cushion underneath your right butt cheek if you like this, and then hands underneath your shoulders. Keep your buttocks and your legs nice and relaxed here. If you have any problems with your knees, you can bring your right foot backwards like this, or you can do a figure 4 on your back instead. Now from here, we're going to do the diving motion again. So tuck your chin, draw your hands towards your body as you reach your chin diagonally forwards and up. Good. Now from here, perhaps you start to walk your hands nice and slowly forwards. Maybe you even lower your forearms onto the mat. Perhaps you rest your forehead on a block. Maybe you come all the way down, making a pillow with your forearms, resting your forehead on the back of your hands. We're going to stay here for a little while, so get comfortable. Breathe into the resistance. This is a really strong hip opener. Inviting in softness in the body and in the breath. Use this posture to let go. Let go of tension, stress, negativity, anything that doesn't serve you. Now we're going to use the diving motion to come up. So keeping your head nice and low, bring your hands beneath your shoulders, tuck your chin. And as you inhale, draw your hands towards your body. Your chin reaches diagonally forwards and up, coming back to a high pigeon. Tuck your left foot, step your right foot back to your down dog. Walk it out here.
before we come to the other side. Inhale, come up high onto your tippy toes. This time it's your left knee that comes immediately to the inside of your left wrist. Your left shin and foot come out towards the right, but less than a 90-degree angle. Lower down your right knee and shimmy your right knee backwards to lengthen your stance, and then untuck your foot. You want to make sure that your hips are level, so if you need to, if it feels good, perhaps you place a cushion or something underneath your left butt cheek. And then take the diving motion to lengthen all the way from your front body. So tuck your chin, draw your hands towards your body, reach your chin diagonally forwards and up, and then start to walk your hands forwards. And just go as far as is comfortable for you. You might find that one side is way tighter than the other. That's absolutely normal. Every day is different, every side is different. So listen to your body. Try to let go of any thoughts, any judgments. And if your mind starts to wander, and it will, just come back to the sound of my voice or the sound of your breath. Come back to the present moment. Breathe into the resistance. Breathe deeply, each breath nourishing your entire body, feeding it with oxygen and cleansing it of any toxins. Good, we're going to come up nice and slow like we did before, using the diving motion. So keep your head low, bring your hands beneath your shoulders, tuck your chin. Inhale, draw your hands towards your body, your chin reaches diagonally forwards and up, coming back to your high pigeon. Remove any cushions or blocks. Tuck your right foot, step your left foot back, downward facing dog. Walk it out here. Good. Lower your knees to the mat. Sit your bum towards your heels. And come to a kneeling position here. Clasp your hands behind your back and then extend your arms. So you're just puffing out your chest. Just a gentle back bend here. And then interlace your hands in front, palms face forwards. Extend your arms around through your back. Exhale. Inhale, reach your arms up. Reach, 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 reach. And then exhale, release. We're going to do this one more time, but as you clasp your hands, bring the other thumb in front, the one that feels a little bit awkward. So stretch your arms behind to open up your shoulders and your chest. Hold. Interlace your hands in front of your body, turn your palms face forwards, extend your arms round through your upper back as you gaze towards the floor. And inhale, reach your arms up. Reach, 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 reach. And then release your arms down by your side. Bring your legs out in front of you. And then help your left knee up like this. I'm going to turn around so that you can see me. You want to leave a palm's distance between your foot and your leg, or you can bring your foot over your knee as long as your foot is flat on the mat with your knee pointing upwards. You choose. Pull out the flesh from beneath your sit bones, and you want to sit up as tall as you can, nice and straight. Bring your hands over towards the right. Flex your right foot. And as you inhale, sweep your arms over towards the left. Keep reaching. You want to lengthen before we come into the twist. Turn your thumbs downwards. Lower your arms down.
Your right arm hugs your knee and your left fingertips touch the ground, but you're high up on your fingertips, slight bend in your elbow with your thumb pointing backwards so that you have space to press your hand into the ground, grow taller. And as you exhale, look over your left shoulder. Hold it here. Just bring your awareness to your breath. Can you breathe with ease? If not, perhaps you're twisting a little bit too far, so ease off. Now keep your head where it is. Your head is the last thing to come out. Slowly start to unravel the movement starting in your hips, low back, mid back, upper back, shoulders, and then extend your leg out in front of you. We're going to go to the other side. So this time it's your right knee that comes up. Take whichever variation you took on the other side. And once again, pull out the flesh from beneath your sit bones. Flex your left foot and bring your hands over towards the left. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale, sweep your arms over towards the right. Lengthen through both sides of your waistline. Thumbs point downwards, lower your arms down. This time it's your left arm that hugs your knee and your right fingertips that touch the ground. Slight bend in the elbow. Press your fingertips into the earth, grow taller. And as you exhale, look up and over your right shoulder. Good. Remember, your head is the last thing to come out. So slowly start to unravel. Nice and slow. Good job. And then extend your leg out in front of you. Come down onto your forearms. And then we're going to lengthen the low back by pressing the hands and the forearms into the ground and pushing towards your feet. So pressing your palms down and towards your feet. Your upper body pushes backwards. I'm going to roll out nice and slow. Now bend your knees, bring your feet flat on the mat, hip width distance apart. Now tuck your tailbone so you're turning your pelvis towards your body. So you should feel your lower back become flush with the mat. Hold here for a moment and then slowly start to peel your lower back off the ground. Mid back, upper back, shoulders. When you reach your shoulders, lift your head up off the ground for just a moment. Come up a little bit higher and then relax your head back down onto the earth. Hold it here, 5 breaths. You want your thighs reaching diagonally forwards and your chest reaching diagonally backwards so that you're opening up the whole of your front body here. And make sure your knees and your toes are pointing forwards, not out towards the side. There is an option here to come into a supported bridge by placing a block beneath your sacrum or maybe a couple of cushions underneath here, if you prefer. One more breath. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead. Relax your arms on the floor behind you. And then exhale, roll down nice and slow so your upper back comes down first. Mid back, low back, pelvis. Slide your arms down by your side. Bring your knees to your chest. Give yourself a little hug. If it feels good, perhaps you bring your forehead towards your knees. Squeeze a little tighter. And then release. And maybe you sway from side to side if that feels okay on your spine, if you've not got any spine problems. Good. Come back to center. Reach your arms towards the sky. Palms come to touch. Slide your hands in between your knees and then grab onto your heels if you can, if not your ankles or your shins. Flex your feet. And then reach your heels up towards the ceiling. This is happy baby pose. Now you want to make sure that your lower back is touching the floor. It doesn't peel up. If it does, then try to grab onto your ankles instead of your heels. And if your head feels uncomfortable, you can place a cushion underneath your head. to support your neck. Just hold it here. If you want to go deeper, perhaps you pull a little bit more on your heels. Maybe you even sway from side to side, or you straighten one leg, straighten the other. Have a play around. Good. Now lower your heels to your bum. Point your feet, bring your hands towards your knees, draw your knees together, and bring both feet flat on the mat. We're going to take figure of 4 here. So your right ankle comes over your left knee. Flex your right foot. Option 1, press your right hand against your right knee, just gently. And if this is already quite intense, just stay here. If you want to go deeper, option 2, right hand comes in between the hole, interlace your hands underneath your left thigh, keeping your right foot flexed. And option 3, interlace your hands over your left shin. So you just take whichever option feels good. You can try them all out. Close your eyes here, seeing if you can release any tension that still remains in your body. Casting your mind back to the intention that you set at the beginning of class. What actions will you take in the new year to ensure that you stay aligned with your one-word intention, that emotion that you want to feel next year? Slowly lower your left foot to the ground. Help your right foot down. Let's take it to the other side. So your left ankle comes over your right knee. Flex your left foot. And then take whichever option you took on the other side. So option 1, pressing your left hand against your left knee. Option 2, placing your left hand through the hole and interlacing it underneath your right thigh. Option 3, interlacing the hands over your right shin. Scanning the body, noticing how the stretch feels different on this side as it did on the other side. Offering up a little gratitude to the body that carries us through life, that allows us to move, to dance, to heal. Good. Lower your right foot to the mat and gently help down your left foot. Straighten out one leg and then the other. Prop yourself up onto your elbows. We're going to come to our final resting posture called Shavasana. So if you want to put on some socks, maybe grab a blanket or a warm jumper, please do so. And then we're going to get ready to come in to the position. So press your hands into the earth and toward your feet. Point your feet. Upper body pulls backwards. Roll down nice and slow. Relaxing your head on the floor. Let your feet flop out wide. Bring your arms a little bit away from the body, palms face up. Take a couple of nice deep breaths. Becoming aware of the shape of your body lying on your mat. Notice the parts of your body that are in contact with the ground. Your feet, the backs of your legs, your hips, your back, shoulders, arms, head. And notice the belly rise and fall with the breath. Now picture yourself standing at the top of a mountain. Overlooking a gorgeous landscape. Clear blue skies above. Feel the warmth of the sun on your skin. Notice the breeze brush past your top lip as you breathe. And as you stand here, feet firmly in the ground, standing nice and tall, a gentle smile comes to your lips, and you tell yourself, I have everything I need. I have always had everything I've needed. The new year is a blank canvas, a blank slate. I can have anything I want. I can be anyone I want to be. I can fly, I can soar, I can sing. I am in control of my life. This year is my year. Keeping your eyes closed. I'm going to stay here for a couple more minutes, so just relax into the posture. Allowing your body to soak up the benefits of today's practice. Keeping your eyes closed. Slowly begin to come back into your body. I will guide you. Begin by finding some gentle movement in your hands and in your feet. Wriggling your fingers and moving your toes. Rock your head from side to side. Just starting to wake up the body. Bring your head back to center and take a nice deep inhale through the nose. Open your mouth and sigh it out. And one more time. Inhale through the nose, filling up the lungs. Exhale, let go of any remaining tension. In your own time, reaching your arms overhead
As you point your toes and you stretch it out here, like you were taking a morning stretch. Maybe you even take a yawn. Taking your time, bend your knees. Roll over onto your right hand side using your right upper arm as a pillow. We're just going to hang out here for a couple of breaths. Thanking ourselves for having taken the time to come and practice yoga to nourish our body, mind and soul. Keeping your eyes closed, use your left hand to press into the ground to prop yourself up to a seated position. Find some stillness. The crown of your head reaching to the sky as your tailbone roots down. Still the body, and you still the mind. Taking a final moment to think back to your intention. Placing your hands on your heart, connect with your one-word intention. Feel it. Breathe it. Making a promise to yourself to regularly check in throughout the next year, checking in with yourself to see if you are still aligned with this intention. Bring your hands to prayer position. Drawing your hands up towards your forehead, rest your thumbs on your third eye, the space in between your eyebrows and slightly up. May your intuition always guide you in the right direction. Lowering your hands down to your mouth, your thumbs resting on your lips. May you always speak the truth with love and kindness. And lastly, bringing your hands down to your chest. May your heart be full of love and compassion always. Let's bow to one another.